Okay guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be working on the 87 GMC again. First thing we're going to do is start tearing it back down. I guess I didn't turn the camera on when I mocked up the mirrors, but these are 13 to 19 Chevy tow mirrors. They were supposed to be power here, but these aren't. You just have to pull them. Wasn't too sure about how these would look on here, but they're not too bad. I think they look pretty good. I had to cut a whole bunch of this out and had to make this piece right here. I'm going to cover this up with a piece of metal, but I'll do that after I tear this whole front clip off. Got to take the hood off, the front fenders. Was going to mock this bumper up on there, but this is pretty beat up, so I decided not going to use it. Probably go with ordering a new one. Going to tear this thing down, then once you get it tore down, raptor line on the inside and underneath of these inner fenders, shoot them in some sealer and spray some color on them and get this thing put back together. That didn't take too long. Got the whole front clip off of it. Still have a little bit of body work touches to do on the fenders. Since I have the front end off, I'm gonna weld this frame horn in. It was bent when this thing was wrecked. Then detail the motor out. As you can see, it's filthy. Right there I got the firewall with a bolt that fell down in there when I was taking the hood off, because I was trying not to drop the hood. But shouldn't be too noticeable, I don't think, because the inner fender covers it. Put the hood over here on the box. Still have a few more things to do and get these inner fenders cleaned up a little bit more. There's some rust in here from touching them the other day. Right there, and gotta grind this here, and down here I have put a patch there and put a patch on that side because I cut it too short when I made it. That one's good except for a little bit of rust on it. I think there's one dent here that I missed and one right there, and other than that, that thing's ready to be self-etched on the inside. Raptor line it inside and out, then put that in some sealer and hopefully get this cab put back together in the next day or two. Then I have to sand down the inner core support. Decided I'm going to go with a factory 87 radiator because I can hook up these hoses to it. And since the radiator doesn't have a trans cooler, because this is the ZFE, it'll work just fine. Only thing I'm going to have to find is a AC cooler like that one, that's smaller. Gonna custom make the grill for it and stuff like that. Got the inner fenders raptor lined. They don't look too bad. Still have a few more body working spots to do on this fender. Like here and there, I've missed a few places, but about got them all sorted out. I think right here and here is the last spot on this one that has to be fixed, because there's little pinholes that were left in the filler. Over here, this fender still has one spot on it right there that I have to sand out, because this right here had a dent in it. I took the dent out as much as I could, but there's still some body filler right through there. And there was an area right here that was low, so I filled it back in. The hood's hanging up. Just about to spray it in some seal primer for the base, then spray it with the white. Was gonna paint the underside of the hood, but I decided not to, because, well, it's a whole bunch of work to get in here, and you'll be able to see the black still, because I won't be able to get into here and spray everything. I'll spray this lip right here, and that's about it. And I'll spray the ends through here, and I'll tape all this off so it stays the black primer and looks okay, I guess. And I'll paint this grate that you'll see, but I'll paint it from the front side and tape the back off. Then over here, I have the tailgate. I sanded it down because I shot it in self-etch, and you can't paint over self-etch for some reason. I don't know why. I shot this whole truck in self-etch instead of just using a sealer, but I did. So I sanded it down, gonna shoot it in the sealer, then get it with a couple coats of paint and clear on it. Got the underside of it all raptor line, and it looks pretty good. I like the texture on it. This raptor liner is about the only stuff, the raptor liner is about the only stuff you can buy that actually hardens after you spray it. Most of it stays soft, but I mean, this stuff is hard. You can't scratch it off. Then here I have some more, there's some more areas to get here where there's a little bit of rust. But other than that, it's coming along. I'll shoot the front fenders and hood and the tailgate and this front cross member, get them out of here, then do the cab and the bed. As you can see, there were some pinholes in this that I missed, and have to sand them back out. Don't know why I globbed it on there like that, but it's in a hurry. Got the, at least this one side all wet sanded. The only reason I had to do this is because the primer I used, well, it came out textured, and at first I block sanded it, then primed it for a block sanded it, then painted it for a pre-paint, and I didn't block sand out all of this right here. You can see the little spots where there's paint left. It left little textured marks, and I 400 gridded it the first time, and it didn't get rid of them. Normally you wouldn't have to do this, but there's some places like here, there, right there, and a whole bunch of other places I'm gonna have to prime this again. The bad thing was is I got some bad product, and sometimes this happens. But this stuff over here will fix the problem. It's some PPG primer. This is PPG paint. PW7's the paint code, and tomorrow we'll get this thing, well, in the next video we'll get this thing painted and start assembling it. And as you can see right here, still have to block sand this fender out. It don't have a texture to it. It's smooth. It's just, I always block them out to make sure there's no imperfections and to make it as smooth as it can be. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. We'll get this thing painted and hopefully get it assembled. Thank you guys for watching. As always, hit that like button and subscribe if you like this content. Thank you. Fenders are shot and another coat of primer. Still have a little bit of block sanding to do to make sure they're perfectly smooth. Then right here, as you can see, well, them black, the Sharpie marks don't show up. There we go. As you can see, there's still some spots here and there on this bed that need to be touched up. It has a pre-paint coat on it. I wanted to do this to make sure it was completely straight, but there's a few delamination issues there from water or oil being in the air compressor line. There's still a few other things that need to be touched up. Up top here, there's some areas that need to be sanded out. And the other side of the bed's just about the same. If I can get around here to it, got too much stuff in the way. As you can see, there's some spots here and there on this side, but this is not, back here is pretty smooth. I do have a few dents here, but I'm just leaving them. You won't be able to see them anyway. Inner fenders are done. Sprayed them in Raptor liner. There's a little, as you can see, there's some overspray dust on them from spraying these in primer. Really should have taped it off, but I didn't. About anything comes off this Raptor liner. Over here, I shot the hood in whatever color this is. It was supposed to be white or gray, and I think it's pink. but it's better than it being black. The tailgate, already shot the tailgate in the primer. Right here, something was in it, so it's real rough. Had to block this one out. Then the truck cab, showed that already in the last video, but all of this needs to be sanded and fixed. There's a few spots right here I have to do some more body work. Other than that, it's just basically block sanding with 400 grit wet to make this thing smooth as glass. And I'll throw a few more coats of paint on it, maybe a coat of primer if I go through and hit bare metal or Bondo or anything like that, and get this thing painted. What do you guys think for a wheel choice for this truck? I'm thinking some 26 by 14s. Not really sure on the brand yet, like the Archon Lincoln. Wheels like that, but I know these surely won't work. I think these are 17s, and boy, they're ugly. That's just a rolled around here. What do you guys think? And do y'all want to see more of the Bel Air on the channel, the 57? I mean, she's just sitting here covered in dust, but it cleans up good. 454, 40 over, and stroked. I believe it's stroked. At least that's what I was told. Got it at an auction, so you never know. It's a remanufactured engine. Brand new, 0 miles on it. But as you can see, it's just sitting here covered in dust. But pretty car. Has a roll cage in it. Still have to put the halo and front down bars. Right now, I'm pretty sure it's a 8-point. I think that's what I put in it. Dash is all in it. Well, it's too dark in there, ain't it? Let's try this. There we go, that might help. Doubt it. It's pretty dark in there. Brand new windshield in it. It's just sitting here. You know how project cars are. They sit around sometimes. But I'll get to work and we'll get these things knocked out, get them painted, and hope to have this thing put together.